All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. And, it's kind of reflecting what we talked about. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw review. We had our WWE NXT preview. What's going to happen at the last show before NXT No Mercy should be interesting. Obviously, I think a lot of promos going to be cut tonight. We have a list of matches that look like it's going to be pretty damn good. So can't wait to jump into that. I have it recorded right now. Can't wait. No spoilers in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. If it's something really juicy, it's something to talk about. Then let's just talk. Let's just talk about it. All right. So now we're going to talk about NXT No Mercy. NXT No Mercy takes place September 1st on Sunday. So and I think it's going to be great. But first, before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to hit up that super chat. Give that super thanks if you have a burning question or hot take in terms of professional wrestling, or just something you're dying to share, something you got to get off your mind. We are all ears here at the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast. The show is all about keeping the conversation going, keeping it lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix. So don't be shy. Go ahead and drop your thoughts and questions inside the chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment gets read on air, I ask you guys to use that super chat. Click that $ below the chat box, and your message, your thought, your opinion will be shown. And also, it's a great way to help support our channel. Your super chats helps us keep the lights on and brings you guys even more awesome wrestling and sports content that you guys love so much. We are absolutely super grateful for each and every one of you who joins us here daily. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this show is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And like I always say, if the tips and if the super chat is not your thing, you can still hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMC, podcast.net. Give me your comments, questions, and concerns. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network. And we can have an awesome, beneficial, successful relationship. Obviously, I love hearing from you guys. So love it whenever the chat, blows up. Makes for a more interactive, this show. I think it's badass. I love hearing your guys' thoughts. All right, so let's talk about WWE NXT No Mercy. But first, I have a comment from Logan James K. My prediction is Julia and Stephanie Vacure show up at NXT No Mercy. I think that's highly likely as well. Like I kind of, was talking about in my last segment about how the women's division in NXT is just so amazing. Just so amazing. Not AEW, Raw, SmackDown, the NWA, TNA. Well, TNA is pretty, Ring of Honor is pretty good. But, there's just something about NXT. This is something about these women. And now you have Julia and Stephanie Vacure waiting in the wings to make their debut. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Honestly, feel like we, can't lose in that kind of aspect. Roxanne Perez is probably going to have to face these girls face to face in the future. Maybe it could be a nice way to kind of bring on, Halloween Havoc on the CW. I think the PLE. I don't think it's going to be on a Sunday. I think it's going to be on a Tuesday on NXT. But I don't know. It should be pretty great. It should be pretty awesome. But overall, I love the take. I can't agree more. So keep sending those super chats, Logan James. You make the show super awesome. Lucky to have you. Then I got a message from my man Stephen Craig. You are awesome. You're awesome too, my man. My main man, my brother. This is, definitely love him. Definitely love you guys. Keep killing it. Keep watching the show. Obviously, if you want to see this ugly mug, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, honestly, yeah, it's pretty awesome to kind of see you guys here. You know what I mean? All right, so WWE NXT No Mercy. We're going to start off with the NXT Tag Team Championship match between the newly crowned champions Chase U taking on Nathan Frazier and Axiom, getting the rematch. So it's not it's it's essentially, I think, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the same run back. I think it's going to be different. I Chase U loses. There's conspiracy theories, my own. If Rich Holland wants to finally, because everybody buys him in now. Everybody buys him in that he is part of Chase U. And if there's doubt still lingering on the minds of Andre Chase, or Duke Hudson. Maybe that's a way to kind of steer him in the wrong direction, and maybe he cost them the championships. But Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they've been kind of hinting at a breakup as well too, which is I really hope they don't because they're a great tag team. But once again, whenever I want something to happen, it doesn't. Like I bet it against Nathan Frazier and Axiom every single time they had a match. I was like, okay, so this is it. This is when they dropped the belts. Oh, they're gonna drop the belts to the Good Brothers. And then I finally got on that bandwagon of Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and then they lost, and I was like, oh god. So I guess you guys can blame me. But my thoughts is if Rich Holland doesn't kind of have this thorn in the side, maybe on NXT tonight, you maybe see a promo where there's still lingering doubts about Rich Holland's intentions. Maybe there could be a way that he turns on Chase U and, Nathan Frazier and Axiom become champions once again. Although I feel like that'd be detrimental to Chase U. I feel like everybody loves Chase U. You pay attention to the WWE NXT universe. Everybody's wearing the Chase U gear. They're happy to see Thea Hale. They're happy to see the tag team. And they are exciting. They are exciting 1,010%. So, right now I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on how this is going to go. But let's go ahead and move on to our NXT North American Championship match between Oba Femi taking on Tony D'Angelo, recently losing his NXT Heritage Cup. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be hard hitting, but I think Oba Femi returns. I mean, I think he retains. I honestly think he does retain. Tony D'Angelo, like he's an amazing champion, but he went from challenging Ilya Dragunov for the NXT World Championship and he lost at Stand and Deliver. And then, you have Oba Femi, who's been nothing but impressive ever since he's been holding that championship. And there's no doubt that he's probably going to get the record. He's going to surpass Wesley. But, I don't know when it's going to be time for him to lose the belt, so to speak. Like, I was kind of playing around with the idea if he does lose the NXT North American Championship, then he can challenge for the heavyweight championship. Or once when they, kind of have this superstar shakeup with, WWE, Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown and NXT, maybe he finds his way on the main roster. But I don't know. He's such a dog. Like, and I mean that in the most respect possibly. Like he goes out there and he fights every single match like his life depends on it. That's why he's not going to lose his NXT North American Championship to somebody. And I love Tony D'Angelo, but I feel like this match it just has to be bigger. Would have to be bigger for him to drop the title. Next, we have the NXT Women's North American Championship match. It has not yet been claimed yet, but I think tonight on NXT we're finally going to see Wendy Chu and Kaylani Jordan come face to face, and they're gonna, it's gonna be a match. Kaylani Jordan's going to defend her title against Wendy Chu, and I'm thinking possible betrayal. Possible betrayal right now. Right now, she still feels like she wants to help out Tatum Paxley. Maybe Tatum Paxley, stabs Kaylani Jordan in the back. And she's had a long enough reign for it to be like, you know what? Kaylani Jordan, she represented the title well. I know she wanted to bring prestige and had a long run, but overall, I think she's doing great. I think she's already done great. But Wendy Chu as the champion, I'm not really too hot on that as well. Not really a marketable kind of person. And it's not Wendy Chu's fault. That's the character she has on NXT, so nothing personal. But I don't know, like when you see WWEshop.com and then you're gonna see Wendy Chu with the title belt, during the commercial, and you're gonna see like a black shirt or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just don't seem like, I don't know. I don't know. But I think this is gonna be a hard fought battle. I definitely think if I had to put the house on it, I'm betting on Kaylani Jordan retaining. I'm sorry. I really can't see Wendy Chu as the face of a WWE Women's Division on NXT, the mid card belt. But like I said, anything can happen, and if it does, definitely Paxley's going to get involved. But I don't know. I'm like I'm 65% Kaylani Jordan and like 35 Wendy Chu. All right, next we have the WWE NXT Women's Championship match between Roxanne Perez and Jaida Parker. I think once like what Logan James K was was kind of alluding to is that you're going to see Julia or Stephanie McCure or maybe even Stephanie McCure show up at NXT No Mercy. Roxanne Perez is going to be, I think she's going to win. 100% Roxanne Perez is going to retain against Jaida Parker. This match is kind of just designed to be like, oh crap. Jaida Parker's still in the main event, kind of talk a little bit. So she's gonna have a hell of a match. She's gonna come this damn close. She's gonna come this close to defeating Roxanne Perez, but it's obviously not gonna be enough. And then you're at the end of the PLE, somebody's music's gonna hit. Either Julia's, Stephanie McCure, the end, staring face to face. Either one of them's in the ramp or one of them makes it to the ring. And I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be a great way to end NXT No Mercy. Overall, I don't know if that's going to be the main event. And actually, you know what? I am. I'm 1,010% sure that's going to be the main event. And if it is the main event, I'm going to be like, all right, somebody's going to debut tonight. I just know it. I just know it. All right, and then we have the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. Ethan Page taking on Joe Hendry. And everybody loves Joe Hendry. Ever since he made his debut on NXT, people fell in love with this guy. And so, to all credit, he is talented. He's very much a, babyface WWE, kind of guy. I remember when I first saw him on TNA, I knew for a fact, I was like, this guy's a WWE superstar. Thick, thin and through. Like I knew it right off the bat. And, him getting a shot at the NXT World Championship is big. Just that in and itself is big. First time ever you're going to see a TNA superstar challenge for one of the WWE's, main event card titles. So, I ultimately think Ethan Page will retain. But Joe Hendry, once when the CW takes over NXT, you're gonna find a way for him to, I feel like he gets a rematch in a month before they debut, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, and I feel like somebody's gonna screw over Joe Hendry. Maybe Josh Alexander from TNA. Maybe he's pissed because he lost his chance at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Emergence, which is happening on Friday. And Joe Hendry also has a match on that too. So, they're going to allude to that. I have a feeling you're going to see Vic Joseph, saying something along the lines that, oh, this guy competed 2 nights ago in a hellacious tag team match where he teamed up with the Hardys. And, there's just going to be an out. There's going to be an out for this match, and it's going to give Joe Hendry a shot in the future because I feel like when the NXT goes to the CW, they need a main guy. They need a main guy who's an international star, and that's Joe Hendry. Not that I'm hating on Ethan Page, but his title run, it's not as flashy as Trick Williams was. It's not as like physically dominant like you saw whenever Ilya Dragunov defended the championship. He basically threw his body at his opponent, so it's crazy. But not like a Braun Breaker. Ethan Page is kind of like this finesse kind of talent. He'll get under your skin. He'll bring up, technicalities and like, I don't know. He just seems like that white collar kind of champion a little bit. You know what I mean? And Joe Hendry, blue collar man. All right. So that was my WWE No Mercy preview and predictions. And now we're going to talk about Uncle Howdy. We're going to talk about his in-ring debut against Chad Gable on Monday Night Raw that happened last night. So, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite drink, and join me here in approximately, like 20 seconds.